Hi everybody, welcome to the South Australian Sports Show. I hope you can stay with us for the next hour. My co-host as always, Barry Curtin, joins me. Baz, how are you?
Terrific.
Big weekend of footy, mate. Your group?
Important weekend.
Getting closer and closer, and of course Showdown 45, so we'll discuss that a little later in the show. But
big weekend footy.
It is a big week. Paddy Ryder all over the hip flexor injury.
Yeah, well he trained, he surprised me because he didn't train on a Tuesday and was just doing laps, so you would have thought, okay, he's another one away or whatever, which was originally feared. And then on the Thursday, he trained with the main squad. And I actually saw him and said, how you going, Paddy? He said, I'm on the plane, I'm going. So it surprised everybody, as did Tom Jonas. It's a
really interesting one, isn't it? Because when Ken Hinkley comes out and says, no, I think he's ready to go, no one believes him.
No one believes him.
Because there's been so much smoke and mirrors on players playing and not playing. It's amazing now how when the coach actually comes out and says, no, he's going to play.
He's playing.
As long as he gets through training, he's okay. Everyone goes, no, he's not playing. Just so the other team can't scout him.
Yeah. No, he was always going to play, as was Jonas, which is another surprise. And both pulled up okay.
Like you're down there and amongst it all, and all clubs say their medical people are the best, but do they get the credits they deserve sometimes? Because they do some amazing stuff.
Yeah, I don't think they do. I think all clubs have got really good medicos now. There wouldn't be a club out there that wouldn't have a first-rate medical officer that would, oversee all that sort of stuff. It's all about fitness and whatever. They lost Aaron Burgess, but they retained Ian McEwen, who was Burgo's right-hand man anyway. So there's no real change in whatever, but they do a great job. They know what they're doing, and they do have good ones down there.
You'd have the best endurance physio by a mile, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
With Wilson?
Wilbur,
wouldn't he be?
Well, you either run or he will get you.
Yeah, he'll run you down.
That's right.
I'll tell you, just quickly, I'm going to share this story with you because obviously when Choco was coaching, he had a bit to do with the club, went down there and watched them, and Wilbur was coming back from the knee reconstruction. Yeah. And I've seen lots of athletes, as you have too, over the journey coming back from injury. Here's this guy running laps around the oval, and I'm watching him run, and he's going flat chat. Yeah. So I've gone, another couple of laps, and he'll pull out. Yeah. 15, 16, 17, 18. I don't know how many he ran in the end, but it's way past 20 and flat chat. Yeah. I've never seen anything like it.
No,
have you ever seen anything?
No, amazing trainer and amazing player. A little soft, but
Oh, please. I'm going to let him know you said that. Plenty to talk about the show. Russell Liebert's going to join us. He's going to have a chat. Rick Darling's on the show. We've got the Southern Footy League to get through, and of course, time to get over to Ash and find out what all the sporting news. Ash?
Hello and welcome back to another exciting week in sport. Adelaide's top 8 chances are slim following a tough loss to the D's. Eddie Betts led the late game charge, but it wasn't enough to take it home. Port Adelaide welcomed back Paddy Ryder and Tom Jonas back to the team to claim a satisfying win against the Bulldogs in Ballarat. The war will rage again this weekend in Showdown 45, an outcome to prove who really deserves their spot in the 8. Going local now, and Norwood dominated the Eagles by 34 points at Cooper Stadium to keep their place at the top of the ladder. The Magpies took a dive to South Adelaide by a devastating 74 points. Meanwhile, Sturt overcame the Bulldogs with a triumphant displays from star players Mark Evans and Jake Sutcliffe. Finally, some good news for the Thunderbirds as they secured Jamaican-born defender Shamira Sterling. The 22-year-old will bring some new blood into the team, who are still yet to win a game. In basketball, the 36ers may bid farewell to superstar Mitch Creek after he signed a contract with the Brooklyn Nets. The small forward will be taking on the big leagues after 8 years with the 36ers and a brief stint in Germany. What an achievement. We really wish him all the best. Gliding into the ice hockey, and Adelaide Adrenaline have fallen to Canberra in both games of their mini-series over the weekend. The top team outplayed Adrenaline with a solid offensive game and efficient penalty conversions. Adrenaline are in Melbourne this week with a split doubleheader against the Mustangs and Melbourne Ice. Volleyball SA and the State League held a charity event over the weekend. Donations went to D-Volley and Inclusive Sport SA, 2 organisations that assist people with physical impairments by providing financial support and access to local programs. The weekend was certainly a memorable one, and we hope to see it again next year. The Hockeyroos are making Australia proud in London after pulling together a string of impressive games in the Women's World Cup. They secured a top spot in their pool after great performances against Belgium and New Zealand. The tournament will come to a close on Sunday. And that's all in news. Back to you guys.
Thanks for that, Ash. Good job on the news. Well, as always, Baz, time to turn our attention to the Southern Footy League.
Hotting up.
And it has been a ripper weekend for them as we welcome the Prez as always. Craig, how are you, mate?
Yeah, good boys. How are you?
Very good, mate. Before we get to this, let's talk about the weekend, mate, because something special happened with the country footy, didn't it?
Yeah, as we mentioned a couple of weeks ago, we went to the country championships. The boys got to don the Guernsey at Adelaide Oval on Saturday as the curtain raiser to the Melbourne-Adelaide game. And the SA boys were after a bit of redemption, after copping a bit of a flogging over in WA last year to the tune of about 40 points, but got up 10-12-72 to 10-7-67, so a 5-point win. But no, well done to the boys. And congratulations to Simon Burkfield from my Ponga, who won the Barry Stringer medal for Best on Ground for SA.
Always like it when you get a bit of redemption, mate. So we had to send them back
good.
to WA with their tail between
That's
their
it.
legs.
Exactly
So a bit of bragging rights till next year now, which is good.
Exactly.
All right, mate, let's get on to this last weekend's games because there were some interesting ones, mate. Happy Valley, impressive over Aldinga at Aldinga. The score was large, but perhaps not a true indicator of the game.
No, that was our tribe match of the day, and we went down to Aldinga, and Happy Valley played some good footy. Had the use of the breeze early, which kick-started it for them, and but Aldinga, to their credit, never gave in the towel. And as I say, the score wasn't a real indication. Aldinga really took it up to them, but as I say, it's one of those games that you had to be there to see how good Aldinga were playing compared to what the score was.
And Flaggies, too good. Deserve probably to be sitting up the top there now. Too good for Cove.
Well, they bounced back after losing to Port Noarlunga the week before. And again, it was a game that 12 months ago, Cove beat them on the Cove Oval. So it was one Flaggies wanted to get back to etch themselves in that top spot.
Now, where do you see Cove? You said off air, we were talking off air about the game and whatever. Where do you see them at the moment? Because they appear to be struggling a little bit to me. But you were saying that if they win next week, all this sort of thing. But they don't appear to be knocking off the big ones.
No, and when you look at their next three games, they've got Ranella this week. They've got
that's an easy one.
Oh, that's an easy one.
We'll be talking about
that. We'll be talking about that one shortly.
That's coming up in a moment.
They got Porties, and in the last game of the season they've got Noarlunga. So they've got the three teams.
Yeah.
Well, Ranella are just above them at the moment.
At the moment.
This week will be their last chance, but there's just something just not clicking.
Okay.
They're good enough on their day to be able to do it, but at the moment it's just not there. And again, if when we talk about this week's games, if they don't win this week, it could be just about curtains.
Well, the Anderson Curtin curse is probably what's wore them down this year, mate. No,
well, they've sucked all the venom out, mate.
They have sucked all out. So we know Noarlunga were too good for Morphett Vale.
Yes.
That wasn't too bad. Port Noarlunga,
mate, this
got it done over Ranella, which I'm disappointed about, but it was a good game.
But you look at the scores: 7 goals to 4.
Yep. And then the other scores were big scores.
Yeah. And when you go to Port Noarlunga, it's one of those grounds that you can get bottled up. But in saying that, the reports I'm getting back from the game, it was just a good, hard contest. And again, it was up and back, real pressure. And again, when you look at the scores, that would indicate that was the case.
Yeah, all right, mate, let's get on to this week because we've got a little bit of to and fro to sort
here
out
we
here.
go.
Yeah.
Cove sitting in 6th spot, Ranella in 5th, as they should be just above them. Both teams come in after a loss.
At home, Cove?
At Cove.
At Cove.
We saw them in the first round, Cove versus Ranella, and Cove didn't look all that good then. They've improved since then. At home, I give them a chance to knock off Ranella in what I would think might go down to probably a goal in it, either way.
We might have a coffee on it.
Yeah. Really?
We might have a coffee on it. That's how confident I am with
What,
Cove.
that Ranella will win?
No. I'm backing the boys from
You're backing
Cobber
Cove?
Park.
Oh, cool. Well,
From
that makes it a
Cobber
lot
Park.
easier for us because the curse will stay with us. Fine, I was nervous for a minute there that you jumped over.
yeah.
Billy and the
I'm not
boys, mate, we'll be fine. No, we will bounce back. Don't you worry about that, mate.
No, I'm not jumping.
Happy Valley in 7th spot, Morphett Vale in 9th spot at Happy Valley.
I think it's still going to be a struggle for Morphett Vale. Happy Valley were pretty good, and they play good footy at home because it's a bit more open. They got a chance to, with their younger brigade, to run the legs off Morphett Vale, unfortunately.
Big game coming up too, Noarlunga Christie's. Now there's a big one.
Yeah.
That is a biggie. What's that, second
Second
third?
versus third. And Christie's coming off the bye. which is always
a bit of a purple patch, and the bye's always tough. Some come out well from
exactly.
it, and some not so good.
No, exactly right. And at home, Noarlunga, a bit like Port Adelaide, you don't like going down there.
Yeah.
Because you know what you're going to get. There's no beg your pardons, straight line, and I've got a feeling that Noarlunga might just continue their winning ways at home in what will be the tribe match of the day.
And so it should be.
Yeah, well, it should be. It'll be a ripper. Yep, all right. Port Noarlunga in 4th, Aldinga in 8th. It's at Port Noarlunga. Port Noarlunga were a bit too good for Cove.
Yeah, I think...
I don't want to say anything about Cove.
No, don't.
Not in good form at the minute against Ranella this week, but...
Fire them up.
What are you saying, they're easy?
Oh, no, I'm not firing up anyone. Cove are playing some good footy. The curse is their problem.
And you only got half of it here.
Yeah.
That's right.
But no, look, Porty's at home. Again, they've been in pretty good form when you look at... they dropped that one against Happy Valley, but bounced back to knock off Flaggies, got over Ranella. This should be a pretty comfortable win for Port Noarlunga.
All right, so what we've got is 2 coffees for Cove to win. I'm going with Ranella.
Yes, of course you're going for
Okay,
Ranella.
well, good luck to you
Well,
too, Blake. Hey, mate, always great catching up with you, Craig.
Great,
It will
Craig.
be a ripping weekend of footy down the Southern Footy League. Get behind your team finals, not too far away. Stay with us. Still a bit to come on the show.